Alright, afternoon folks. Welcome to the channel. Next up on the budget-minded stuff is the SV Bony 70mm refractor. ED doublet, ED APO 420 f6. Now this is about $10-15 more than the EvoStar series. This is the 503 series from SV Bony, and this is I've captured images 3 times with this, and I'm totally amazed at what has come about. There's a lot of features on this. It's much heavier, but as far as budget-minded stuff, I wish I would have bought this instead of the EvoStar and the money I spent on the EvoStar. This came with as you can see, a built-in rotator. But this one also is bare bones. No dovetail receiver. It comes with a much shorter dovetail and no handle. These are just add-ons. But one of the big things is the distance that this focusing draw tube travels. It's a full 90 millimeters. So I haven't had to use any focus back adapters. At about 62 millimeters, it's super crisp, super sharp. Which on that one, I have to use 55 millimeters of focus back, and then the draw tube comes out about 30, give or take 32 millimeters. So it's about between 85 to 90, 88, 87, somewhere in there of focus back. This is 62. So as far as my opinion of it, this is a much more budget-minded astrophotography scope. No mount, no tripod, none of that. No finder scope, no eyepieces, no star diagonal, none of that. But like I said, I didn't buy either one of these for visual. I bought them for astrophotography. And being that this is the beginning of the year, it's like February. Oh, today's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. I needed to dry out because my Atlas mount is pretty heavy. The ground is super saturated, so it's super soft. I don't want the tripod to sink one leg or another or whatever. I don't want it sinking in. But I'm really looking forward to doing a lot of stuff with this year. Like I said before, the EvoStar was my first try at astrophotography with a refractor. This is going to be the second. I've already used it 3 times. And due to medical issues, the day of receiving this, within hours after receiving it, I broke my right wrist. Then I proceeded to get gout. I got sick for a few weeks. My wife had a bad spill, broke her arm, fractured her elbow. Didn't dislocate her shoulder, but messed her shoulder up and messed her hip up. So pretty much the year was pretty much shot. Starting from about late March, early April, all the way to the holidays. I actually cooked Christmas candy, Christmas gift boxes with gout, limping. I got it done, and that gout is absolutely crazy painful. So, but yeah, budget-wise, this is about $10-15 more. It weighs about a pound or 2 more than the EvoStar series. I don't know if I said this is a 503 series. They're both pretty much the same aperture. The EvoStar 72 millimeters. This is 70. This has FPL 51, I think, glass in it. The other one I don't know. They're both ED doublets, 420 focal length, f6. Now I'm gonna experiment with this a little bit, and then the flattener flattener for this is much more budget minded than the Skywatcher one. So I want to experiment with it first to see, and then I don't know what the reducer, I think it's 0.8 or something. So that'll bring it down to about a 4.6 or 4.5 or something. So it'll speed it up a little bit more. But I really want to see, like the solar I did on the first day that I received it. The solar photography I did was totally amazing. The other two sessions, one was a moon. The moon filter was it's variable. A lot of nice detail on the outer perimeter of the moon, but as you go to the center, it kind of all washed out because the moon filter needed to be absolutely turned all the way up, darkened all the way. And then the second one, that was the third session, but the second session was the comet, the Shin Sing or something like that. I can't pronounce it, it's Japanese. They would have turned out really good, but I had left my spare batteries, the wireless interpolometer, and the wired shutter control button all here laying on the bed. So I did everything by hand, creating a little shake to it. So they're still decent. The moon's real decent. The comet one is pretty shaky, so it's really not, it's nothing to brag about. It's nothing even to talk about because they're kind of crappy. But the solar ones, man, this thing had such sharp focus. I picked up details. Just a relatively inexpensive Eclipse solar filter on it by Mead. It just, man, it was just unbelievable that um, the focus was so sharp. There were little black dots, and I thought, oh my God, here we go again with some problem of artifacts or something. When enlarged, you could see they weren't dots. There was tiny sunspots. And so I was like, wow. I was more focused on the gigantic, humongous freaking wing that was just like aimed right at us. And those images turned out absolutely phenomenal. Um, and I'm expecting to have some quirks because, like I said before, these are the first two refractors I bought for astrophotography, and I think this thing is going to be just a joy. I think it's just going to be absolutely phenomenal to use, especially when I can track something super accurate and for as long as I want with that atlas under that cloak right there. Because I can do a 2 to 3 minute exposure without auto guiding or anything. That freaking thing is accurate. It's old, but I like old school stuff. There's no whistles and bells on it. Well, there is. The ones I put on, external GPS, but there's like no power out. There's no USB. There's the serial cord for the hand controller, the power in button, power in plug. I forget what those are. I forget what the number designation for that, but just the power cord, and then the auto guiding. Those are the only ports. And there's no way to mix anything up. Like a lot of people, oh, maybe you mix it up and plug the toaster into into your cigarette lighter or whatever, because you'll get a lot of them when you start looking for information, especially on some of the forums. And some of the people are just rude, but I think that's just the way it is nowadays with our society. Everybody wants to put somebody down to make themselves look better. I'm just the opposite. I don't put anybody down. You are who you are. So I'm ready to rock and roll as soon as I get some clear skies. So this is the next step in my budget series. I had to change my shirt. Now I got this raggedy work shirt on because I had a long sleeve kind of knit shirt on. And it makes me look good, especially after a workout. But um, I just started burning up in it. So I changed. I had this out. I was going to do some stuff today, but it's already 5 o'clock. And my wife keeps texting me. She said, "What did I take out?" I said, "Oh, I thought you were buying me." Ah, yeah. Whatever you want, babes. Oops. I guess I did convince her into buying us dinner. It's Friday night. I took pork chops out, but I made a dumb comment. What? Take something out for dinner? I thought you were buying me Valentine's dinner. I gave her a hard time. She bought some brownie mix for my birthday. She never made brownies. I have to do everything. I barbecued a steak, some corn, and some potatoes for my birthday, you know. And look, I'm having to cook my own birthday dinner. You didn't make me a cake or anything like that. Just razz her. I don't care. It's just another day. And I'm getting so old, I want to forget them. I want to start going backwards. Boy, I'm closing in on 70 so freaking quick. But anyway, this is my Astro-Prospecting series, the budget series. The box was kind of expensive. Harbor Freight for these high impact plastic. Harbor Freight has some really nice ones, and they're multicolored, bright. So you like with this at night in the dark skies. It's black. Harbor Freight, they got some orange, yellow, tan, or sand, and then green, and then of course they have a popular black. I really don't ever like black, but most everything is sold on these boxes in black. I've had bad experience with one. I had it out, and I was rearranging. Maybe I can fit this in there. I was rearranging my garage, and I drag it out, and I set it out, and had my 8-inch scope in it, my Cassegrain. And the sun had changed. I wasn't paying attention. The sun had gone to the west, where it was beating right down on this big black box. And a friend of mine showed up, and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm just rearranging this." And he said, "Hey, what's in this big suitcase thing?" And I went out, and I was like, "Wow!" And I touched it, and I was like, "Oh God!" So I rolled it in, and I opened it up, and the scope was just covered with sweat. It was just, and it was really, really warm, and I was like, "Oh man!" So I just cleared the counter of my bench off and laid out some towel and stood it up there. I kind of wiped everything off and then let it dry out, and then did some investigation looking inside to see if it had sweated inside. So I might have had to take it apart to dry it, but it didn't. It was just basically external sweating, like a human. But he's like, "Whoa!" He was really interested in, because it's a pretty large scope. It's 200 millimeter aperture. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is the Astro Prospector budget series. All right.